All right, good evening. I'm meteorologist Alexandra Cranford at WWL Louisiana. We're talking about weekend rain, and I'm just getting you an update because we've already had one wave of rain almost completely work through our area earlier on Saturday. And now heading into tonight, we're expecting probably a second round from late at night to early Sunday morning, probably after maybe even 2 a.m., something like that, and into the early hours of Sunday. We're talking about scattered rain. Some could be heavy, and we do have a low end threat for a couple of severe storms. Things you need to do, of course, have rain gear handy just in case. Check your radar and your WWL TV app on your phone as well as on your TV for free. And the big thing, of course, this evening on Saturday evening is that we have the Crew of Boo Parade and some other weekend events. Unfortunately, had the rain move through earlier, and now, thankfully, most of it is moving off to the east. So just zooming in a little bit here on New Orleans to New Orleans East, we're seeing the clearing line with the light green showing the very light rain still wrapping up and ongoing, but about to end at places like Belchase and Chalmette, and again, a big part of New Orleans east toward Irish Bayou. But look at this, our Jefferson Parish, Metairie, Kenner, New Orleans, West Bank spots drying out as we head into Saturday evening. So again, setting up for Crew of Boo, probably not the prettiest, but it does look like we will have drier conditions and a lull in the rain for much of this evening. Now we have some heavier pockets of rain here, one right on the fringes of St. Tammany to Hancock County in Mississippi, and another one here not far from Pearl River and Picayune, Mississippi, and these are lifting out to the northeast and should be finishing pretty fast. We're here at 4:46 p.m. on your Saturday. So this evening looking drier, cloudy, temperatures in the 70s, that more humid feel certainly here. And then late at night, especially after midnight and more so toward tomorrow morning around dawn or sunrise, we may get our second wave of rain. Let me show you precision cast. Our models have not been doing the greatest job, but I just wanted to give you something to go by here. This is 5 p.m. It actually has not caught up with how fast this first batch of rain has moved to the east. So it still has rain around, but the trend is for less by 7, and then it also has a drier trend toward 10 p.m. Now working through the overnight hours, check it out with this next system. I'll show you our satellite and radar with a big low off to the north of us driving this next front end, but this would be a line of showers and storms. It looks kind of ugly off to the west of us. That's why we have that severe risk. But this is 3 a.m. on towards 6 a.m. It starts to break up a little bit. Still could have some rough storms here and there early tomorrow just before sunrise. But look at this, by 7, 8 a.m., most of the rain is wrapping up, and by even lunchtime, maybe even late morning, 9, 10, we could be mainly finished with the rain. Okay, one other thing to talk about tomorrow is that if we see the sun come out after that early morning rain, we could actually see a couple more showers and maybe even a thunderstorm or two try to form in the afternoon, more like that kind of summer setup where the daytime heating helps storms to get going. So not a sure thing. Not every model has this, so this is not for sure, but it looks like there's at least a slight chance for an afternoon shower or storm after the main batch moves through in the morning. And then by Monday morning, we're seeing a little surface front pass through as the big system moves to the east of us. Rain amounts so far on your Saturday have been up to a ½ inch plus. Slidell a little over a ½ inch there. Baton Rouge about 3/4 of an inch. And you can see this first wave of the rain here while we wait on our next wave out to the west of us. A big surface low here with this front, and we've had warmer air surge in across Louisiana today. Although our temperatures are not bad, but we have had more humidity. Our severe outlook through tonight, this goes until sunrise on your Sunday. So overnight, we have the level 1 to 2 risk of a couple of severe storms. We're talking about mainly high wind gusts, but can't rule out a spinning part of a line of storms. So we might have a couple of tornado warnings. I don't think there's a very high chance for that, but it does look like at least a low end risk. And then on Sunday, this would be mainly for the first part of the day, just that level 1 marginal risk for a couple of severe storms. Now we've been at that outlook for today, even with that wave of rain that already moved in, and we did not have any warnings issued. But again, don't be surprised if you do get 1 or 2 warnings popping up on your phone either very early on Sunday or probably not Sunday afternoon. But we'll see. Again, if we see a couple of storms reform tomorrow afternoon, probably wouldn't be too strong. Tonight, lows around 70. We're expecting that next wave of rain overnight to early Sunday. Also something for tonight, we'll have high tides between about 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. and those will be about a foot above normal, it looks like. So a coastal flood advisory has been issued through 7 a.m. Sunday, just for those waters to be a little bit higher than normal, like you see often when we get persistent east winds on those east-facing shores. Tomorrow, high chance of rain, but it's not all day. Again, it will mainly be early in the morning. High temperatures only around 80, so not a bad feel. Here's your Sunday forecast hour by hour. By late morning and midday, we may already be drying out. There's your slight chance, just a heads up, possible to see an afternoon shower or storm, but probably not too much. And then by later on in the evening, our temperatures will drop off through the 70s. Later in the week, we're getting excited about this next really, truly fall kind of feel that's coming with our next cold front. So this will be much cooler weather starting Wednesday. With this next front, I don't anticipate a lot of rain. I think a slight chance very early Wednesday morning, possibly, but we don't have a lot of moisture returning and just not a good setup to get a lot of storms with this next system. So mainly we'll just see it move in quietly, and then we'll see things calm down and get much cooler for next week toward Halloween. In the tropics, we still have our one system hurricane now as of Saturday, Melissa. And you can see it's really strengthening here, getting a much more organized and symmetric kind of look. 90-mile-per-hour sustained winds and gusts are over 100 miles per hour. Now, the thing about Melissa that we've been saying is that it's going to have some time to strengthen pretty fast. It's losing its westerly shear and it's over very warm water. So this is not a good forecast path for the island of Jamaica. Big concerns there with really heavy rain, especially on the eastern side of the island. And look at this. The winds will also be a big concern because it looks like this might do that rapid intensification that we talk about with some of these hurricanes. It's over very warm water and with less wind shear and conditions a little more conducive to development. It could be soon a Category 4, and now even the National Hurricane Center's official forecast has Category 5. If it made landfall on Jamaica as a Category 5, that would be the strongest for that island since records were beginning to be kept in the Atlantic basin. So it does look like a lot of rain. We're talking maybe 20 to 30 inches for some parts of the eastern side of Jamaica. So this is very concerning to see the potential for landslides, mudslides, and so forth, especially again on the eastern half or so of the island. Plus Haiti and Dominican Republic also could see some spots of more than a foot of rain, maybe even close to 2 feet in some spots of rain because it's just such a slow mover. Now then I'll show you in a second the steering, but it should finally get picked up, move somewhere over Cuba and possibly Turks and Caicos or Bahamas and get out into the western Atlantic, but maybe not till the middle and end of this upcoming week. Here's the upper level pattern, by the way. It's kind of been blocked from really moving too fast in any direction so far this week. And now we start to see the trough of low pressure coming off the eastern part of the U.S., picking it up and finally moving it out early to mid part of next week. And again, I've paused it here on Thursday. It's in the western Atlantic, finally leaving the Caribbean islands alone. But until then, it's going to be bringing some rain, wind, storm surge impacts, and so forth. So really concerned about some of these spots here. Again, Haiti and Dominican Republic, we've got tropical storm watches and warnings, hurricane warnings, of course, for Jamaica. And then this is new as of just a little while ago on your Saturday, a new hurricane watch for a big chunk of the eastern part of Cuba. Just looking at one model, our European model, you can see how much heavy rain may just be stuck over there starting sometime Saturday night and Sunday, and then all the way possibly into Monday. So again, really concerned about that part of the world, as it does look like it'll slowly get the nudge to the north around Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Tuesday and Wednesday, crossover, maybe Turks and Caicos and Bahamas by Wednesday and Thursday, and then farther out into the Atlantic. Our 7-day forecast, again, we're watching for our heavy rain potential for early tomorrow, and rain totals I think we'll be okay because we've had these drought conditions, so our soil should be able to handle the rain that we're going to get. But under a couple of storms, we might see a quick couple inches of rain, so we'll be watching for that, as well as that low-end severe risk, mainly on Sunday morning. And then Monday looking fine, Tuesday fine, Tuesday night into early Wednesday, that's when that next big front moves in. So that's your slight chance of rain on Wednesday early morning. And then look at those temperatures, 40s and 50s north and south for the mornings at the end of next week. Highs, maybe only 60s on Thursday and Friday. If you're trick-or-treating or have Friday night Halloween plans, temperatures will likely be falling from the 60s into the 50s through the evening hours. So getting a little chilly for Halloween this year.